So I'm gonna start reading the book. Hey, this one is Mikos 25. Mikos speaks from the Library of Porthologos beneath the Aegean Sea. The library holds the records of the universe. Greetings from the center of the earth. My name is Mikos, and I am a resident of the city of Cathara. I am talking to you from a library in Porthologos, located in the hollow earth beneath the Aegean Sea. I am very old by definition. I span eons of time in the same body. I have been able to compile Earth records in the Library of Porthologos, where all Earth history has been preserved. Our library is immense and extensive and holds records of the universe, not just the Earth. We can study the history of all planets and solar systems and learn everything about life everywhere. Such is our library capacity. Not only can we read about it, but we can experience it all firsthand from our crystals that store memories of all events. So we can access the events, learn from them, solve our problems easily and with the best possible outcomes from all involved. I am a guardian of the Earth records and of all the records in our solar system and universe. I am here in the cavity of Earth primarily to guard the history of all life everywhere. This is our prime purpose and the purpose of the Library of Porthologos. Our library is the only one of its kind in our vast system of planets. Our library is so vast that it covers miles of terrain and has vast storage vaults containing records all stored in crystal slides that are viewed through our crystal projectors. Our storage facilities are vast, organized, and categorized so that you can easily locate the information you are looking for and retrieve it for viewing. We have vast conveyors that will deliver your order within minutes and then return it back to the storage location again. This way, every item in the library is always where it should be and can be easily found and perfectly preserved. Such is our technology capability. For we have drawn on the technology of the universe we reside in, and have the most advanced methods of preservation and storage, retrieval that would marvel your library systems beyond anything you could dream of. For we don't have dead books on our shelves. We have living records of life in all its vast and differential forms of existence that plays out its story as on a life stage in a theater. We sit and view it as if we were in the audience, thus having this first-hand experience of all history right here and now. It is truly a marvel to witness and most evolved way to learn about life in all its varied forms. So it's just like watching a TV or going to a theater. Put these crystals in and you can watch anything and everything about the universe, galaxy, or anything else. Yeah, they refer to the Galactic Federation and light workers. That's what this is all about, trying to connect with the light and go higher into the fifth dimension. There are many theaters all throughout the library where we can sit in comfort and view any activity or event we choose that has taken place on Earth or in the universe throughout all time. This is really what theater is about, with live actors portraying themselves as they were as a particular event of time. This is the best way to learn about life in our galaxy and make history come alive and jump out at you and capture your attention. You become part of it, feel it, and experience it. It is the best way to learn. Your surface Earth history classes are dull and boring compared to the way we learn, and this accounts for the loss of attention and loss of interest in school classrooms, aside from the fact that your information is misinformation based on someone's theory or prejudice rather than the actual fact. You, like our librarian, would find learning exciting and wondrous to experience. Someday you will be able to access all information in our libraries of Porthologos. When you travel here through the tunnel systems that will be open between the two civilizations in the future, when surface humans stop warring and people reach unity concerts. Then the world will open up to you and you will experience the joy and freedom of being in unity with all of us in this universe, and will benefit from all our wisdom and all our accomplishments. This is how the planets, solar systems, galaxies, and universes evolve by uniting in one consciousness and evolving together through eternity. One step at a time, climbing the spiral of evolution together, bringing everyone along so that all evolves and all benefits. No one is left behind. Unity conscious carries us all so that all life advances according to the divine plan, and all life is in harmony with the home planet. This is the best way to evolve, and we highly recommend it to you. The light is expanding in your mass consciousness, and soon you will feel its intensity, which will drastically move your vibration into higher octaves where the frequency will bring you into unity conscious without you realizing it. One day you will just open your eyes and you will be there and be with us and marvel at it all. It will seem as magic to you and seem as if it always was, and all the suffering in the past will be obliterated, erased from yourselves, and you will rejoice to find yourself at last. We will unfold you in our arms, and we too will rejoice in reuniting with you, our brothers and sisters, at long last. I am Mikos, your friend from the past. So this is where you can connect with these divine beings, and they can teach you and help you. When you go to sleep at night, you can ask to go to these schools and these places. There's many sacred schools, and they're in the fifth dimension. So if you ask, you will at night go into these places and be given permission to connect with these higher beings and learn stuff. The story of the Hollow Earth inhabitants. We would like to hear the story now, as you are all familiar with subterranean cities, but not really familiar with the Hollow Earth inhabitants. We are a very advanced race of beings that have never resided on the surface. We have come from other planets in your solar system and other galaxies from far out reaches of space. We came here to oversee the Earth, and we came here to continue our own evolution without interference from the race or from your race or ETs. We are securely encased in the core of the Earth, sufficiently to protect us from all outside intrusions, so that we can evolve as quickly as we can in order to secure this planet as an outpost of love and light. Hey, Crystal. See, you're on Instagram. For the quicker we can evolve, the quicker we can come to the surface and help struggling humanity gain its freedom into the light of God's love. This is why you have not seen or heard from us. It is because we have self-imposed this seclusion. Now that you have all read about the subterranean cities in this book and have had time to ingest its significance as part of Earth's history, we now wish you to acknowledge us, standing free in the light of God in the midst of you, constantly radiating our love of light to you to grasp and hold onto, as well as pull you closer and closer to our heart flame until you meld with us into God's mighty stream of light, enabling you then to go forth into the world where you will shine as beacons, where all who encounter your radiance become magnetized from within to begin their transformation in consciousness and increase awareness of the multitudes of beings who are here to help you and all life on earth to evolve into a higher and higher state of consciousness until all the earth together explodes into ascension of light and all are fed from the earth's density forever. And that's why you bring in more and more light all the time. Hey, there you are, Mirinda. Hey, good to see you on Instagram. Glad you made it. If you could send a message to Nan and to some of the other people, maybe they can come on this too. And I'll be on this tonight on the Instagram also. I'm on TikTok here while I'm reading. And so when you're in this light, when you start having this, it's like when I'm around people, people's energy shifts, all kinds of things go on. Like people, like Antonio is in Portugal, and he came on, and there's other people in Ireland and places. And as I'm reading, I'm asking for light and energy to stream to you. So there's a lot of kinds of beings and energy and spirits and things come in to help you and download you, prepare you for shifting, changing, downloads, whatever it is your path. Hey, Tassan. And so this is where it says the more you beam this light out, and wherever I go, I try to bring in a really big light. So some people get very afraid of it, other people really like it. And like I say, lots goes on when people go in my energy. Hey, Rachel Williams, you're on Instagram too? Cool. And so I will be using Instagram tonight while I'm doing the Sunday live because people want to be on for the prayer. I'm glad that Miranda came on Instagram. Hopefully Nan and some of the other people can join on Instagram and be a part of this also. I'm not sure if Tipson is going to come on or not. So on TikTok, you may not see Miranda and them. Some of them are coming on the Instagram site that me and Cindy have. Very cool, Rachel. So yeah, because if we switch off TikTok, we can go to Instagram. That's something we thought about for quite a while. And then we're going to be using a new platform called Skool, Skool. You can look up the site. And Cindy yesterday put a whole bunch of things on the Skool site. Hey, Louise G. Or Louis G. Louise? So we're going to put different videos and things on there. So if you want to look at videos, we'll put all the Telos videos on there for people, all the books that I've read. So you can go on there and you can access that. And then, like I said, we have lots of videos and things. And then there's a platform where we can maybe have a thing where I come on, like Cindy said, maybe I'll come on Sunday mornings and we'll open it up and we can have talk and discussion. I don't know. It's everything is new. And that's part of this Aquarian age, as part of Uranus going into Gemini and Neptune moving into Aries is going to bring these changes, but it's going to force us to go into a revolution. Cindy, what's my Instagram name?
Joe Fox Streamer.
Joe Fox Streamer. Iris is asking. Hey, Frank Peepers, I'm on Instagram and on TikTok at the same time. And I'm talking about a new site we're going to go to. It's called Skool, Skool. And so, what's that?
It's free to join.
Yeah, it's free to join. If you want to join the Skool site, our where we're going to put videos and other kinds of things.
Here, I'm just going to say it. Skool, you got to create your own profile and you have to put in a credit card, but it is free to join groups. If you want to learn more, there's things that are for sale, and then that's where your credit card comes into play.
Okay. So hopefully you guys heard that. We'll say it over and over and over.
The link is in the link tree and on our website.
Hey, Terry, you joined on Instagram. Very, very cool. I'm reading Telos books and talking about a new site we're going to be moving over to. So glad you joined us. Really cool. So I'm going to go on reading more, but this is about bringing in the light. And this is what I try to teach to people in meditation and lots of other things to help people's energy go up and change and that. So This is from the subterranean beings, and they're trying to help us to understand when we come together. And we're coming to this place where in the Keys of Enoch, it's talking, we're going through the photon belt. And the photon belt we started into in somewhere in the 90s, we started moving into it, and we've been in that going further and further and further. That's energizing and changing things. It's taking down the walls. People are seeing more, picking up more things, all kinds of stuff going on. And so these books sort of give you an idea, and it's like you can go to these schools in the fifth dimension. You can ask to go, like the being that I mentioned that is channeling this is Mikos, and he's from the Library of Porthologos in the Aegean Sea. And there are other beings, and they take turns sharing information here. And they talk about the universe, they talk about Creator, they talk about all kinds of other things. And so in these books, you can ask to go to the fifth dimension, to the violet flame, the blue flame. You can ask for the resurrection energy. You can ask for a lot of things. And the more you ask for these things, the more you become the light. So wherever you go, people feel your energies, things shift and change. Sometimes you don't even have to talk to a person. It just something transfers and they just shift into a new energy. Sometimes healings go on, all kinds of stuff. You never know what's going to happen. So Mikos is in, spell the word out. Sometimes I pronounce them wrong. It's Porthologos, so Porthologos, and it's beneath the Aegean Sea, capital Aegean, and this is a library in the inner city, and so this knowledge is coming from there, and it's trying to help you understand. You can go to these places. When you go to sleep at night, you ask to go to these places, and they can show and teach you all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to go back to this part here and read back down. Now that you have all read about the subterranean cities in this book and have had time to ingest its significance as part of the Earth's history, we now wish you to acknowledge us, standing free in the light of God, in the midst of you, constantly radiating out our light and love to you to grasp and hold onto as we pull you closer and closer to our heart flame, until you meld with us into God's mighty stream of light, enabling you to then go forth into the world where you shine as beacons, and where all who encounter your radiance become magnetized from within to begin their transformation in consciousness and increased awareness of the multitudes of beings who are here to help you and all life on earth to evolve into a higher and higher state of consciousness, until all of the earth together explodes into her ascension of light, and all are fled from the earth's densities forever. This is our role, this is our final goal, to carry out on earth, and then we will all en masse move up the spiral of evolution into the realm of light and love and become who we truly are, living in a place of peace, beauty, and prosperity. Together as one cell in God's heart, so make your journey into the light with us by opening your hearts to our existence and welcoming us into your life. And when I pray that prayer on Sunday night, I try to incorporate all these things in the prayer. I start and then I go through everything till I finish the prayer. And I try to get you to realize and invite all these things in so that it will help you to grow and evolve spiritually. By opening your hearts to the existence and welcoming us into your life so that we may guide you onto the steps of continual glory where we step with you side by side on the path to God. So walk with us hand in hand, and whenever you're weary, think of us holding you and supporting you as well. As the planet moves closer and closer to your ascension, you are close, very close, and we are here to give you that extra push into the light where we all await your presence. We bask in the light of the hollow earth where we have created a paradise within the womb of Mother Earth, and we wish you to experience this paradise along with us. We are now working closely with you, our brothers and sisters on the surface. We cheer you on. I am Mikos, your friend from the past. And now it says, we once lived in another solar system. So this is where, like I say, these beings trying to share knowledge for everybody. And like I say, people will either believe it or not. And whatever is their thoughts and beliefs, they can keep it. Like Splinter, gay or guy, whatever you want to call yourself. If you don't believe in it, go somewhere else. I'm not here to argue with you. Sharing knowledge with people that want to transform and go into something different. You're going to be a part of the reincarnation on other planets and things. We once lived in another solar system. Greeting my fellow travelers on Earth, this is Mikos speaking to you today from inside the hollow Earth, which is our home. We have been here for millions of years, slowly evolving ourselves into the God beings that we are. Our evolution has made great strides due to the isolation of being wrapped inside the womb of the Earth Mother. All our lives have been spent in peace and bliss due to the location. We exist here in peace and tranquility because of the proximity of the heartbeat of Earth Mother. The more deeply one goes into the earth, the more deeply one feels the beat of the earth, and the more one feels her heartbeat. The more one resonates with her goddess qualities, and that's why I say connect with the Earth Mother. She's a very intelligent, wise being. And natives have done that for thousands of years. They always talk with the Earth Mother. When we sit in the sweat lodges and that, we pray to get visions and connect and work with her. We ask how we can help the animals and the plants and the trees. How can we help the water? How can we do something when we're sitting inside? It's like inside the Creator in the womb before there was light. And it's like inside the belly of creation, you go into the darkness. And when you're finished the sweat lodge, you crawl out. It's like you're birthed new. And so these beings are, like I say, trying to help us understand things. All our lives have been spent in peace and bliss due to the location we exist here in peace and tranquility because of proximity of the heartbeat of Mother Earth. The more deeply one goes into the earth, the more deeply one feels the beat of the earth, and the more one feels her heartbeat, the more one resonates with her goddess qualities. So this proximity has led us over the millennia to our oneness with all life and to our joy of existence. All life knows this oneness, yet most of life has yet to feel it in their outer bodies. As the heartbeat of Mother Earth reverberates through the earth, it reaches the surface where you can feel it and experience it. However, in order to feel and resonate with the beat of life, you have to be in peace. Your outer bodies have to be in coordinations, in synchronicity with each other, all vibrating at the same velocity and all feeling the grace of God and the immersion in the oneness of creation. When your bodies are at rest at night, they resonate to the deep beat within them. You can only evolve when you are in a state of peace, and this is why we who are immersed in the earth steps have been able to evolve, because we have been in the synchronicity with the beat of all life and with ourselves. Once we were adrift in space, living on another solar system in the Milky Way galaxy. At that time, there were what you today call Star Wars. People were engaged in battles to control our section of the galaxy. These battles brought great destruction to the planet and knocked our solar system off course. This was a dark time of our galaxy, and beings like ourselves yearned for peace to be restored so that we could continue to evolve. This is when we discovered the Earth. We left our solar system, traveled here, which at the time was a planet little known outside of its parameter. When we alighted on the surface, we were amazed and in awe of the beauty and tranquility of the earth. We explored the surface and found the open tunnels leading into the cavities inside. These were already existing tunnels from other civilizations. For the earth is very old and our civilization's very ancient. That's why I say we're millions and millions of years old. They try to make you believe we're not. We've been evolving on this planet for a very, very long time. And I always try to talk about this, trying to help people understand. Hey, guided by ancestors. Glad you joined us on Instagram. All planets have openings at their north and south pole, and we migrated through the poles and found our nest inside. The inside is so clean, so pure, so peaceful, that from that time on, we never left it. Throughout the ages, we have enlarged and expanded the tunnels leading to the subterranean cities and surface as means of travel for the inhabitants and yours, for our inhabitants and yours. Although not too many surface travelers have used these tunnels, they exist for the future, when more and more of you and more of us will intermingle and make the trip to visit each other. So the surface is dotted with tunnels, entrances that you see on the map in this book, leading both to the subterranean cities and to us. It is how it is most planets in the galaxy, where people travel freely to both the cradle and the rim to exchange information and to learn from each other. So I'm going to show this map again. I showed it a couple of times since I started this book. So if you can take a snapshot of it, and then you can blow it up and you can take a look and see where under the United States where we are. So here's the map here again for anybody that didn't get a snapshot of it. And it shows wherever the dots and things are, you can see there are cities underneath the earth. And over here is California. There's two, one in north and one in south. Up here is Vancouver Island. You can see there's places up there. And these are power points to see if you're by one of these vortexes, power energies. It's like in Quebec area, there's an energy that comes up around Quebec City, and people go there and they can feel it. Around the Great Lakes, like Winnipeg, there's one underneath there, and there's energy that generates up, and people get drawn there. That's why a lot of people are drawn to Vancouver Island. And in the ancient times, before the island broke off the mainland, and there was a separation, there used to be an ancient pyramid there, and that sank, and it generated energies between Vancouver Island, and because you go there and people are just like, whoa, and there's lots of little islands, and then there's the main Vancouver Island. So this is where these beings are talking, and they came to this planet. They live inside the earth, and that map is there. So you can look at it. You can go to these areas. It talks about New York City and lots of other places where energy comes up. People get drawn to these places. It's really, really hard to tell where Manitoba is on this map. That's why I'm like, you can take a picture, you can look at a map, and you can try to see. Because I know down in the Lethbridge area too, there's a vortex or a energy coming from inside the earth. Down around Medicine Hat area, there's a really, really big one under the earth. And if you look at the Keys of Enoch, it shows some of these. Can you get me the book Keys of Enoch, Cindy? Do I have it here? Where's my book? No, I don't have my book here. Okay, I'm just going to show the Keys of Enoch. So this is the map of North America from the Arctic Ocean. Yeah, I'm going to do it from the Arctic Ocean here down into Mexico, down through the Mexico, Yucatan, and that. And you see again, Vancouver Island is where my finger is moving. And you see this wheels within wheels. And Lethbridge is in here. And then this is between, I think, Saskatchewan and Manitoba here. And then over here is another one.
Show the cover of that book on Instagram again.
So you can blow that up if you snapshot it, and you can try to investigate and figure it out. It talked about some of these PowerPoints, like in New York, Lake Winnipeg, and others. So you can investigate it yourself. Like I say, I'm just sharing knowledge. And these beings are trying to share because we're moving into something really big, and this transformation on the planet is going to be something major. And everybody is feeling it. Some people will move into it, some people will stay in karma, and when they do, they're moving to other planets that are prepared to take their lower 3D vibration. And this is where you got to invite this future new. That's why in my prayer I say invite in your new angels, your new spirits, your new guides, whatever healings, whatever universal light things that are going to prepare you to be a part of the future. And I do that prayer on Sundays. So I'm going to go back to reading again. All planets have openings at their north and south poles. We migrated through the pole and found our nest inside. Inside is clean, so pure, so peaceful, that from that time on, we never left it. So there's beings that have been living inside the earth for millions and millions of years, and they're trying to help us now connect to what we're going to be doing in the future. Yeah, I spent years trying to do stuff with the crystalline grid. Like years ago, God used to get me to go places and do ceremonies by myself, and I went all over the place doing stuff. I didn't tell anybody. It was between me and the universe. Throughout the ages, we have enlarged and expanded the tunnels leading to the subterranean cities and the surface as a means of travel for the inhabitants and yours. Although not too many surface travelers have used these tunnels, they exist for the future, when more you and more of us will intermingle and make the trip to visit each other. So the surface is dotted with tunnel entrances that you see on the map on page 75, leading both to the subterranean cities and to us. And this is where the Sioux talk about the spider people that live inside the earth, and their legend about the spiders people coming back out on the earth in the future to help us. And then the Sioux people, they talk about Ikitomi, and Ikitomi says he'll come out in this time and he will come and help us. And they talk about these spider people, and this is what this book is talking about. And it's a very ancient legend with the Sioux. Because they helped the Sioux, they took them down inside the earth and protected them till all the bad things on the surface ended, and then we all came back out. They did this all over the world with lots of cultures. Lots of cultures know about the beings inside the earth, and they share ancient stories. You can find them. This is how it is on the planet in your galaxy, where people travel freely to both the cradle and the rim, to exchange information and to learn from each other. Your Earth has quite a history going back into millennia of time. Unfortunately, its history isn't always peaceful, because once it was discovered, people fought great wars trying to control it and mine and remove its precious resources. So now that these times of raping the Earth are over with, these beings are no longer allowed to enter this sector of the galaxy, which is steadily rising in light. And that's the truth. The Earth Mother is going to move into total light. No more 3D crap. We're going to all go into 5D. These beings are no longer allowed to enter this sector of the galaxy, which is steadily rising in light, even as the waves lap the shore. The light is flowing ceaselessly now and bringing a tranquility and awareness that all surface dwellers yearn for. We here in the hollow recesses of the earth have been calling for eons for more light and for more help from the Confederation of Planets to intercede to stop the influx of ravaging bands of ETs who have been scourging space to find planets that are rich in reserves like Earth. But today it is done. Now the Federation fully protect this sector so that life can finally begin to evolve in peace. All life forms presently on our Earth are opting for the ascension. However, Some will ascend with the earth and with us at this time, and others who have been unconscious of their inner choices and unwilling to ascend at this time will do so at a later time. Know that the earth's ascension is assured, and we will all be moving our locations closer to the helios of the sun. So this is where I always say the sun is getting closer to the earth's getting closer to the sun. That's why the planet has been heating up. It's not because we're destroying the ozone and that. That's bullshit. If you take a plastic sheet like this and put a big marble or bowling ball in the center and then roll a ball around the outside, eventually it's going to come into the center, to whatever's in the center. And as the earth spins over millions of years, it gets closer and closer to the earth. And it's proven. And scientists have proved this over and over and over. Every so often the earth heats up. It's not we're polluting the earth and we're doing this and that. Is that we're getting closer to the sun, so it's getting more hotter. And they know this to be a truth. But they said, oh, we're using Freon and that ate a big hole in this atmosphere and all of this. No, they're using technology that made that big hole. And they're trying to give us something that's not a truth. But we're going to eventually know all of this. So the earth moves more and more closer to the sun. And that's what's heating us up. And that's going to make the planet one temperature. No more North Pole, no more South Pole. And this planet is going to be beautiful and warm all over the earth. And we're going to have like tropical climate everywhere. That's why if you live in the north or you live somewhere it's cold in the future, it's not going to be that way. The people in the hollow earth are overjoyed with the rise in frequency that has taken place over the last few years. We yearn to connect with you in the physical, and now this connection is fully assured. We can even guarantee this, as you could say above, yes, you are above us, but depths of location is irrelevant. For with peace coming to this planet, all life will be assured of rapid evolvement to make up for the lost days of darkness. Humanity has learned its lessons well and has learned the futility of war and bickering and cries now for an end to the insanity. And the end is coming. You are witnessing the last eruption of the surface. And this is where all the prophecies and that are going to happen. And this is where natives have talked about it. We keep saying we're in the purifying times. But they keep trying to make us believe things, so we'll fight and argue and do all kinds of silly things. Now the Earth's ascension is assured. Okay, done that one. The people in the hollow earth are overjoyed to rise the frequencies taking on the planet. We can even guarantee this, as you would say above. Yes, you are above us, but depth of location is irrelevant. For with peace coming to the planet, all life will be assured a rapid evolvement to make up for the lost days of darkness. Humanity has learned its lessons well and has learned futility of war and bickering, and cries now for the end of insanity, and the end is coming. You are witnessing the last eruption on the surface. From this point on, you will begin to see the merging of people, places, and principles as all come together as one united earth. This is the day God has been waiting for. This is the day of your holy God selves have been praying for. This is the day we will open up and the tunnels, exits, and come to you with your brightly colored robes and sparkling sandals bearing gifts of immense riches and the necessary devices that will return the planet to its pristine state once again. That's where people got to stop thinking they're saving the planet. Like I say, the universe has been planning this for millions and millions of years, and now we're going to start moving in that direction. That's why I want to become the light. So I'll finish this up. And so telepathy is important. You are all telepathic. You can all converse with us. You are just now beginning to realize how gifted humans really are. So gifted that, in fact, you could actually do everything that we can do because we were once you. We once went through all that you are now experiencing, but with our entry into the cavity of Earth. We were destined to evolve just as you are destined to evolve as the Earth frequency speeds up. And this is where she's going from 7 hertz to 11. And you got to move with her. That's why you got to connect and pray to want to know how to work with the Earth Mother, how to shift your energy, how to be a part of this, how to be, connecting with the fifth dimension, with all these different beings and all kinds of other stuff. Invited into your home. There's masters and avatars and that even can come to your home and visit you and teach you things. But you have to believe in it and you got to choose it. Once we reach a certain frequency, our consciousness will burst through the density and you will see all and know all, and we will be here with you at last, enfolding you in our love. We reside here in the hollow earth amongst great richness and live in great palaces infused with light. To you it would seem like a fantasy land, but to us it is real, as we created it from our own God selves. We created homes for God and goddesses, and this is where we dwell. We dwell amongst the richness your eyes cannot yet conceive, very possible conceive, is at, or every possible convenience is at your fingertips, and our environment is more beautiful than you can imagine. Our homes are set in a lushness of the countryside that abounds all around us and are built right into the natural environment, surrounded by lakes and streams. We have no cities like yours. We have only country that never ceases to amaze even us. The trees, the flowers are vibrant and pulsating hues and shades and caress our homes and lands. Everything is monumental, as you would term it. Even our trees and mountains are double the height of yours. And of course, our bodies are taller and larger in frame. The width and girth and our fingers more than double yours, and our fruits and vegetables are huge in comparison to yours. All our food is organic as we are in tune with the Earth Mother, and she personally directs their growth. We live in grand palaces made of crystalline stones that are embedded with jewels from the earth. These crystalline stones create a magnetic field and radiance that nurtures and balances our bodies and fills us with the life force emanating from the great central sun of our universe. All things in our home radiate the purity of God and tunes us to God's vibration. For it is God's love that fills our homes and God's love that creates the richness in our lives. Our homes are round and translucent and blend into the countryside. By outward appearance, they give us total privacy. But once inside, we can see out in all directions around us. This gives us a spacious feeling of vision, rather than being locked in as you are on the surface. Not only can you see out of our houses, but we can see out beyond the earth to the stars in the sky. Our vision has no boundary and no barrier. Whatever we are, wherever we are in the hollow earth, our eyes and our senses are free to roam the universe while our bodies remain inside the globe. Our fields of grain sparkle and thrive in the fields that are perfectly touched by the sun, the rain to produce the most luscious of crops that are so pleasing to our palate and so invigorating for our bodies. Our food pulses with the force of life, and when eaten by us, transfers the life force into every cell, which results in perfect health and longevity of years. This is the secret of life. It is hidden fountain of youth you've all been looking for on the surface. It is found in the earth herself, just waiting to give you its life force, if you will but follow nature's laws of planting and harvesting crops, using only nature herself to direct the process and oversee the growth. And this is what we're going to start doing. We're going to start farming different. Farmers, you're going to find that you're trying to grow things and it won't grow unless you do it the way the earth is trying to get you to do. And we're going to transition out of this old way of farming into new. And this is the truth. And when you start tuning in with the earth and you start paying attention to nature and everything and the animals and everything, you're going to understand how to farm new. And when people farm this way, they're going to have really abundant crops. People who farm the old way are not going to be able to grow things. And it's a truth. This is a secret of life. It is the hidden fount of youth that you've all been looking for on the surface. It is found in the earth herself, just waiting to give you the life force, if you will but follow nature's laws of planting and harvesting crops, using only nature herself to direct the process and oversee the growth. With the great force of nature working with you, you don't need to add anything to the soil, and the harvests are always magnificent in size and nutrient and taste. This strength given us by our food enabled us to perform Herculean feats with our bodies that you would consider impossible. We can walk and run extremely long distances without tiring and swim for hours at a time. We are not tired at the end of the day's work, because nothing we do is work. It is all joy and ease, and contentment is felt at the end of each day. Our lives are truly wonderful. We have much to feel blessed for, but we have created this utopia ourselves, and so will you. For your future is to be glorious. You are about to break through this density into heaven. This heaven is right here on earth. Right now, only half the planet resides here, but soon the whole planet will be in the heaven you've been searching for. For heaven is not in another place. Its location is right here on the earth. Right here where you live. You only have to bring it here through your higher conscious. For heaven is just frequency, and you are now raising rapidly towards accessing the frequency. And we here in the hollow earth are applauding your desire and your determination to grow in awareness and reach the frequency of ascension that is plummeting the earth from the great central sun. Your father, your mother, God and Goddess Alpha Omega, your Goddess Alpha Omega are bringing you home, back into their bosom love, where we all dwell for the rest of eternity. And the message from Mikos, the Inner Earth Dialogues, it's part 8. These new telepathic transmissions were received. Adam and Rosalia on Telos, and Mikos in the hollow earth. Rosalia is an elder who has been living in Telos since the time of Lemuria's demise. She migrated there at the onset of the Atlantean Lemurian Wars over 12,000 years ago. So Adam, the Telos books, is my podium. It is how I hold court. This is a place where people gather and hear my words. And this is where you can connect with the energies. Call it in. As I'm reading, as I'm connecting these things, call in all this stuff. You're going to feel the energies. You're going to feel things invited into your home. I speak from it to all light workers, all surface dwellers. The way to Telos is through the Telos books. The way to the Library of Porthologos is through the messages of the hollow earth. It is a vibration of the book that will carry you there. And as I'm reading that, everybody can have this kinds of stuff going on. Just relax, don't create fears or anything. Thanks, Roxy Orange, Hopkins. Oh, Shift Lab is here too. Hey, Pam, welcome for joining us. I'm reading Telos, trying to share and teach and do a whole bunch of things at once. I am Adam. Okay, read that. The way to Telos is through the Telos books. The Library of Porthologos is through the messages of the hollow earth. The vibrations of the book will carry you there. Heed my words, for they will assuredly lead you to our emergence of the surface, to the ascension itself. More people who read my words, and more rapidly our emergence will occur. This assures you. Pam, we are trying to get our school thing set up. Cindy was working on it last night, and we've been putting it on the...
Keep reading.
On what?
Keep reading.
Yeah, okay. I'll go back to reading. I'm trying to be in 5 places instead of one. Our messages are about love. Hi, I am Rosalia, and Adam and I are here today sitting beside you as you write on your computer. So whoever is channeling, they're sharing this message. Know that we are anxious to begin the session and give new messages to explain the original Telos edition. And so joy at the thoughts that we are working so closely together again on this plane. And yes, we are on this plane of existence with you, only we are buried deep within the ground you reside on. Oh, what a thrill this is for us. And now for us, you are always with us in our hearts, thoughts, and visions. We are united in one cell of the heart of God. It is the Creator's wish to bring forth more messages for our book, and we as creators are complying. It is all so easy. We just follow the will of the Creator and it happens. So, my dear, shall we begin? Our book is about love, the love that creates, the love that flows from the Heavenly Father to the above and below. Just as the sands on the shores flow from the waters inland, and the love from the Father flows inland to us as creation, His creation. Oh my, what a flow! And the more you open your hearts to this creative flow, the more you receive and absorb and reflect to others around you until your aura becomes one big golden ball of creative light. It is such a sight to see, and soon the consciousness of the earth will be raised enough that all will see the light around others, and all will realize the oneness and connectiveness of all souls, especially all souls on the surface. It is not just in the higher dimensions nor the inner earth that this connectiveness exists, but this connectiveness connects us all equally. Only we are aware of it as a physical eye cannot yet perceive it. So with our eyes, we can't really see it. But when you open your third eye in that, you can see all kinds of spirits, you can see all kinds of things. And more people are having their third eye open, and they're not in control of it. A lot of people are trying to force it to do things they're not meant to. People are trying to stay in the old 3D ways of forcing things by old practices instead of stopping and just allowing how to learn new. And I try to teach that a lot of times. I have little workshops and other things to explain and teach people that this third eye is very, very ancient. And it sees out of the top of your head, sees out the sides of your head, sees in the front of you, sees behind you, sees below you, sees into the past, sees into the future, and sees now. And it does it all the time. And people are there trying to focus it to do this. And I'm like, stop it. I don't do that. I don't command it. It just, when I ask the creator and the universe and other things, it just opens and closes. And I always look at people and I honor and respect them. When I look at their auras, when I clear them, when I download them, whatever I do it with respect. I don't unzip people with Reiki or anything. I allow what is shown to me and I work with that because everybody is sacred. And I have no right going into somebody's chakras, auric field, etheric field, or anything without their permission. And that's where in the Bible it says, do not violate the Holy of Holies. And I say this a lot of times, but in these books it's trying to help us to understand these kinds of things. And I want people to know this. I want people to connect so we can all go up higher and all these other things. Hey, Walking Medicine Beowulf Clan. Um, It is such a sight to see, and soon the conclusion on the earth will be raised enough that all will see the light around others, and all will realize that oneness and connectedness, all souls, especially all souls on the surface, it is not just in the higher dimensions, nor in the inner earth that the connectiveness exists, but this connectiveness connects us all equally. Only we are aware of it as physical eye cannot yet perceive it. So you, Adam, and Rosalia are connected. We also have been and always will be. Just hold on to the vision of connectiveness, and our lives will flow vividly between us and bolster you during your days. And that's where using telekinesis more and more and more. Tune into that. It's important Because I say our brain is like a radio and a TV. And you have to understand how the universe wants you to use that. Why you came to this planet to be a specialist. Why you came here to do all kinds of things. Hmm. Okay. So you and okay, did that. There is so much to talk about, and our flow is easily and swiftly moving back and forth between us as our energies is connected, igniting a flame of transmission. For everything is electrical. Our thoughts, our love, our dreams, our desires, and telepathy are all electrical with no time lapse. I think it, feel it, and simultaneously you get it. And this is where people will do that sometimes. They'll pick up or I'll see in their minds and that because they're wanting that. They project it. They do all kinds of things. I don't try to block and protect and do stuff because it interferes with my growth and my evolution. And people use mirrors and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, you're only slowing yourself down. And people are like, oh, aren't you afraid people will look in and that? I'm like, I don't worry about it. And at some point, that's all going to end. Like, people won't be able to do that. I think it, feel it, and simultaneously you get it. What a marvelous way to unite. Yes, that was my voice calling you this morning. You heard it audibly through the purity of your soul. We will stop now so that you can digest this message and prepare for tomorrow. I am Rosalia, your sister in Telos, awaiting your return to our mountain this summer. The mountain will be all decked out. So they're talking to the person that's channeling this book. It says, Rosalia, it is all about community, and that's where we're going to come to. All prophecies and that, we're all going to be under one tree. There's going to be one language, one way to believe, and we're going to get rid of all the silliness. We're going to come together. In 1,000 years, we'll look back and we're going to go, wow, we're going to be so different from where we're at right now. I try to make people understand this. We're in the age of Aquarius. We've been there for more than 100 years because Rudolf Steiner and them were the enlightened ones. They brought all this knowledge in, Blavatsky, Bailey, all kinds of people. Even the sleeping prophet, what Edgar Casey. And he was doing this in 1910, 1920, and that. He'd lay on a couch and he would connect with people all over the world. And he would see what was wrong with them and heal them and do all kinds and send energy and connect with beings in the earth. And he channeled the future and everything. And we're all going back to this place where all of this reality, and if you really, really study and you go back to 18 something, you're going to see where lots and lots of knowledge came through. You can find books on it. All this stuff we talk about now was already shared with us way back then. And there's many, many things that we're going to discover and learn. Greetings, I am Rosalia, and just bubbling with excitement to be here with you today. Sunday is such a fine day on earth, especially on the surface where people are at home with their families and relaxing. This is a fine time in the year. Also, autumn has set in and the leaves are beginning to turn their fine shades of orange and red and even purple. Here in Telos, we have purple leaves. They are outstanding in their brilliant hue. And so, my dear Lilia, we sit side by side, you and your computer, and by my stream that is running alongside my home. The grass is lush. I am cushioned by the softness and the embrace of the fragrance. All around me it is quiet, with just a murmur of the leaves and the songs of the thrushes. This is a perfect setting to meditate and communicate to you across space. Our lives here are joyous, not like the quarrelsome ways on the surface. Here in Telos, everyone is at peace with themselves, with their neighbors, with their city. Everything runs perfectly. Nothing is late. Neither trains nor spacecrafts are ever late. We don't need reservations or passports to go anywhere, and all transportation departs at evenly spaced intervals, so everyone knows when everything leaves, making it very easy to travel. You just hop on when you want to go somewhere, and you do the same when you want to return. This itself takes out a lot of the stress in life, since you know that you can always travel freely and free of charge anywhere at any time. So we are able to stay closely in touch with our friends across the borders, although we have no borders, just different geographic locations of communities. We wonder how we can live in such separation from each other on the surface, though we know that it is not to your likings. Most families are now separate and live in your different cities and states, which increase the stress factor of life. Families were meant to stay together, not to separate. Our community's adhesiveness comes from our staying together as family units, which gives us inner strength and keeps our cities alive with vigor and cohesiveness. It gives us the strength to be all that we can be, because we always have each other to fall back on and a cushion to rebound from. So we never think in terms of failure as you do on the surface, because it just doesn't exist here. We always have each other, our communities and temples with the priestess and priestesses. Um, so you see the difference. Life was meant to support us, not to cripple us. And on the planet, everything is to cripple us. Like how everybody in the States went paranoid about TikTok being shut off. And they're all going, well, what platform are you going to be on and that? And it's to cripple, and it's to take away business and ruin people's lives. Just like a lot of other things came into our lives in the last 30, 40 years that have crippled and destroyed many people. It is all about community, people living together and working together for the good of each other and the good of the community. Not the other way around, as it is on the surface, where people work only for themselves, giving no thought to others. Striving to help others is foremost in the daily routines, and our children learn this at an early age. It is passed down from generation to generation. Even though our generations are very long in length and last for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. My grandparents are still alive here, being many thousands of years old by now. So if we talk in terms of generations in thousands of years, I'm only a third generation. That's why I say a lot of us, even we're 60 years old, we're still babies. Some of us will be 1,000 years old. Some of us will be way older. And if you would really learn and listen to what I teach, you're going to be a part of something really miraculous in the future. And think you're just a baby. You don't know anything yet. And this is where I'm so excited about the future. I'd love to look back 1,000 years and go, wow, this is who and where I was, and here I am now. And you're going to reverse your age where you're always in a body of about 30 years old. But you have to do it with the right intentions and thoughts. And I talk about these things all my life to people, and they mock me. But I don't care what people think and say. I always tell people I'll be 250 years old or older. I know I'm going to be very old. Like really, really old. I was shown it. And some people will ascend off this planet into all kinds of other things. They're finished with this planet. But you have to have the right knowledge, and you have to put it together in the right way to be able to do things. The Batmandy, you're welcome. Okay. It is all about community, people living longer together, working together for the good of each other, for the good of community, not the other way around, as it is on the surface where people work only for themselves. Striving to help others is foremost in our daily routine. Our children learn this at an early age. It is passed down from generation to generation, even though our generations are so very long in length and last for hundreds of thousands of years. My grandparents are still alive here, being many thousands of years old by now. So if we talk in terms of generations, in 1,000 years I am only a third generation. So you can see how carefully we must think about how we live our lives, because everything lasts so long. We cannot afford to make mistakes because our immortality is at stake. We must always think ahead and work things out with each other in the most beneficial ways for all involved. This is why we go slowly and don't rush through our days as you do. We try to make our days last as long as we can hold on to them, whereas you rush through yours hoping they will quickly end and you can go to sleep, only to begin all over again the same routine and rushing and stressing. If you had if you had the universal laws and understand how the universe works, your lives would be changed would have changed eons ago. But this information has been withheld from you, so you think that this is all there is. This is how life is meant to be lived in a daily struggle without hope. And this is where I say when you understand, you can change everything. And the universal laws and everything are the truth when you really understand and know how to work with them. Like I say, I spent a lot of my life trying to learn all of this. Well, we can give you hope, and through the pages of our book, you can learn how we live our lives according to universal law. You can also learn these laws and truths in so many other books that are now available, and of course, there is a wealth of information on the internet. There is no reason for you to be in the dark any longer. When enough people on the surface awaken and become aware of the universal laws and universal truths and start living them and applying them to their lives, everything will change, including your governments, the perpetrators of this current darkness. So everything that is negative is eventually going to end up changing, and we're being pushed into that right now with every government. Everything that's going on the planet is moving us in that way. So know that there are brighter times ahead indeed. It is the awakening into the glow, the fifth dimension, where everything is known, everything is light, and everything is one. I am Rosalia. I bid you good day. Reuniting your soul family, extended family living accelerates your climb into ascension. So when you connect with these divine beings and you start absorbing these energies, it's going to start changing you. People are going to reverse their ages. Some people are really sick. All of a sudden, they're going to heal. Lots of things are going to happen. Very, very magic when you understand God's truth. And you got to understand, you got to become Jesus. You got to become a master. You got to become an avatar, a guru, or whatever it is. And you got to become the truth. Good morning. How joyous to be connected with you again. Our history together is long. We are ancient friends from the past, renewing our loving friendships even now. Though we are miles apart and separate in dimensional constructions of the planet, although our dimension is not so different from yours, it is still different in vibrations and its location in the Earth's etheric realm. For there are many stratas of different dimensions vibrating at slightly different rates, some even overlapping one another, such as ours, which overlap yours, especially at Mount Shasta area. So when people there, they feel this energy. Cindy was there, and she experienced something, and I think when she was there, if she was alone, she would have had an amazing experience because there was things that somewhere inside she knew, but something interfered with it. And sometimes Cindy is channeling this stuff and she doesn't even know, and she's just in it doing it, and it's just inside her, and she just knows to do this stuff. But like I say, when there's people and things around, sometimes that stops us. And maybe the universe did it because it wasn't the right time. Maybe Cindy's going back to Mount Shasta and she'll have a really, really super big experience at that time. This is all very well and good. Just like when she was in Peru, she didn't go to Machu Picchu. She went there on this journey. And maybe in the future she'll go to Peru and she'll go to Machu Picchu and she'll connect with these beings and all this other stuff. And she had these two experiences, and then she had one in Australia. So there's something really big in it all. And somewhere inside her, she may open these doors and really, really understand that. And she's coming to that point. She's starting to really let herself become something way more than she even understands. This is all very well and good since we want you to have physical contact And this gives us the opportunity to merge with you on so many different levels. Telos is quite a unique city because it juts up for all to see, and it is obvious to all you that travel here that this is a high energy place. So many people come here just to bathe in the energy, both emanating from the mountain herself and from us. For our energies blend with the mountain, boosting the vibration of the whole Mount Shasta area and even extending out to other smaller localities. It is the way that also on the surface humanity has its own distinct vibration that interfaces with the whole Earth's surface and culminates in what is called your mass consciousness, which registers your state of evolution and determines the rate in which you evolve. You can only evolve within the conscious constructs that you are immersed in. So if you were to live in Telos, you would evolve at our rate because we would immerse you in the canopy that speeded up the vibration. And that's where I want my own property, where I can generate energy. So when people come there, they can have a way bigger experience. And I want to have things on my property where when people come there, it's going to change them. I want people to come for about a week and go through a whole bunch of things. So when they leave, they're going to be totally different. And I want to create and build this. I've been praying for over 30 years to do this. But there's so many negative things and people and stuff interfering, blocking, doing all kinds of stuff. And the universe told me one day I will have it. I believe that to be true. On the surface, you will vibrate according to the lowest common denominator. Thus, your evolution is slowed down to a snail's pace. We don't mean this to offend you. We only want you to understand that this is mass consciousness of all inhabitants that determines your group level of evolution. That's why people got to come together in soul families. They got to come together in certain areas of the planet. And this has to be, you got to all agree. You can't keep going, oh, I want my healing center. Maybe it's going to be 50 people come together that's going to create it. But everybody is trying to do something separate and pulling away, tearing things apart. It's like a person was at my retreat last year and they were sitting there while I was teaching and they were watching all the energy being ripped and torn apart. And when people are in my retreats, I want them to say, look, this is what I'm seeing so I can teach and help people learn. And she told me this a year after, and I'm like, if she had mentioned it then, we could have all went in there and I could have taught lots of things and everybody could have saw what was going on. And like I say, there's lots of opportunities, and this is where we got to come together and we got to speak out, we got to speak up, and we got to be honest and truthful. This is not secrets. There's no secrets. If you want to be in the fifth dimension, you got to really, really be open to speaking things out and stuff and trying to teach. Yes, some of you are quite evolved in spite of your living under the surface conditions, but most of you have been unable to access your true potentials because of the heavy vibrations suffocating you, and there's so much energy bombarding us. It's really, really hard to do this. I have lots of challenges when I do stuff. I have to have lots of things come in to protect and help people when I have workshops and things because I just get attacked. Even doing this TikTok lives and things, lots of stuff goes on, and I just keep trying to teach and do stuff. You are the light workers are very evolved light beings, most of whom are still trapped in the surface density, unable to access who they truly are. You are light servers who have come to help a struggling humanity lift themselves from the mire of density. In the process, you got stuck yourself. It has been a tragedy. And a lot of people are meant to be vibrating way higher, but they don't understand how to do it. And they're not trying to understand and find the right things. And this is where I'm trying to share with everybody. But now with the increased influx of light streaming into the planet that never before increments of intensity. Everything is lightening up so that all the density is slowly dissolving around you, and you are beginning to recognize who you are and finally grasping your potential, recognizing your gifts and talents that have been hidden until now. All is connected. Remember, we are all one. So if one of us is trapped in density, it brings all around us down in the light scale that measures a planet's conscious wave. It is very mathematical. And there is even a formula for it. And this is where mathematics is a language. And it's really, really interesting when you understand it. Even formulas for it, which we would not give you since you would be able to understand it. It is not necessary for you to know, anyways. And that's where some people have this knowledge. But if they try to teach it to you, it won't make any sense. Just know that as you, a surface dweller, climbs the scale of consciousness, you begin to merge with all the forces around you, including the nature elements. This is where you got to connect with all the plants, everything, the water, anything that's a life force. And they got lots to teach you and help you understand. That's my Sunday prayer. The earth herself and us, we all long for to join with us, for we have been separated for so long. It is in the merging with conscious accelerations. This is where you got to want to connect with this fifth dimension, future higher things. You've heard of the you've heard of the domino effect, haven't you? Well, the forces of one has a direct effect on all the others along the line, propelling them in a vibration until all are caught in the maelstrom of light, and is greater than all parts. In this case, you merge into the consciousness that is greater than each one of you could possibly attain if you were alone. This is why community is so important. Why the extended family living is so important, because the group dynamics propel individuals to expend at a wider and deeper level. And this is where I try to bring people together. It doesn't work, and then the universe removes me away and puts me somewhere else. And then I try to keep that connection, which takes real lots of energy and stuff. And I try to do things through long distance, all kinds of stuff. I want to come together where everything comes together in the right way. But I'm tired of fighting with everybody. And this is where I want to move, and I want to have my property so I can do my thing. And people are either going to come and be a part of it, or they're going to leave my life and go in another direction. I can't think for nobody. At some point, I want to travel the world and teach. And there's lots I know I can teach. And this is where I'm waiting for the universe to give me permission. Me and Cindy were supposed to be doing that. But people want to stay asleep. And as long as they want to do that, we can't go out and do things because people don't want to wake up and know the truth. Living alone as a hermit on a mountain is such a slow, arduous way to raise your conscious level. This was the old way of thinking. People have finally realized that they have to be a part of a family, part of a group, part of a town or city to be actually involved in everything around. For it is your involvement that adds to the dynamics of growth and exponentially expands and increases its potential. This is what we want to make you aware of, to take a more active part in your group endeavors so that the group becomes your family. It is not only biological families that we are talking about, but this is a time to create families from friends. Friends who are tuned into the same wavelength and have the same dreams and aspirations as your own. This way, those dreams and aspirations will have a chance to expand and multiply and manifest using group dynamics of sheer numbers. And this is where, if I could teach you guys how to tune in with me and we focus on something, we can manifest and change and do all kinds of stuff. And I try to bring meditation groups together and all kinds of stuff, but nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to be in their own power. And that just right away, the universe just goes, nope, separates it and changes all kinds of things. And then I got to come back and try it all over again. The more people involved in the group dream, the more likely and quickly it'll manifest. And this is what I've tried to share for 7 years with people. Nobody wants to hear it. This is how we do things here in Telos. We all merge our dreams and aspirations together to manifest health and abundance that surrounds us. You too can do the same. You start with small groups of all like-minded friends and bond your friendship into a cohesive family unit and dream, one people, one planet, rich in love and abundance. This is what we have created here at Telos, and you can now do the same. We are here to help you understand that you are no different from us. You have just been quarantined on the surface with no guidance and little light, which has hindered your growth. But things have changed now and soon will be, merging and setting up temples on the surface where priests and priestesses will be available to all who choose to learn the ancient ways. And we got to go back to the ancient. It's not new age. Everything is old and ancient. This 3D world of the new age practices, it's really messed up. We gotta connect and learn the ancient ways, truths, and laws of the universe. What a grand day that will be, and soon approaching it. I am Rosalia, your sister living in Telos. Next one is clarity helps you navigate. The more clearer, like I say, you see your future, you manifest and create it. And clarity is there. Everything is there. It always meets and comes to that point. God doesn't deceive or lie or cheat or manipulate or anything. Hey, Peronia, very cool. You made it on Instagram. I hear your TikTok in the States is still going, so it's really cool. So, you too, Nan. I see you made it on Instagram. Very cool. But Miranda says TikTok is there, so she came on TikTok and on Instagram, and there's other people. So I'm really glad you're all here. Tipson was wondering about Nan and other people, so they're on Instagram. Clarity helps you navigate. I am Rosalia, wishing for an opportunity to speak. Today is balmy. Inside Telos, the air is fragrant with jasmine as I sit here with my stool dictating to you. I am inside an abode which is open to the air and can see out in all directions from inside my home. The beauty surrounding us all here in Telos is beyond description, but can be captured by you out in the mountains or wilderness that still remains. Our rivers and streams are still a pristine state. The air is still pure and clean. We have no fossil fuel industries here. In fact, we have no industries at all. All that we need is brought to us by the Galactic Federation of light ships that are camouflaged in lenticular clouds you see atop Mount Shasta. There is so much to say about our world that seems to be decaying all around you, as indeed it is. This decay is on so many levels. It is not just the physical pollution that you see, it is the pollution and decay of man's mind, from mass programming from the media to the points where so many people can no longer think clearly. Their minds are clouded with fear and negativity and confusion, playing right into the hands of the dark. When you are filled with fear and confusion, you can be led so easily. That's why I say stop focusing on the negative, focus on the light. If you do that, it's going to start pushing the negativity away. It's going to clean up the fears. It's going to get bad people out of your life, all kinds of things. Stop believing everything they project out there. Start using your minds to create, like with TikTok and everything. It's like, no, we're going to use these platforms to connect all over the world to change this planet. It is only clarity that can help you navigate and make choices for your higher good. Without clarity, you are led to make choices that are not in your interest of the American people, only the interests of the government and corporations. And this is going to change. We're going to go into a revolt and stop all the craziness. If you can take time out of your day and you can walk in the woods or just around your block, you can clear your head, free your thoughts so that they can wander out into the universe and find freedom and hope. Thank you for this connection, Rosalia. Whatever you perceive, you receive. And this is where telepathic, this is where dreams, this is where imagination and that. This is where looking into the future. This is where looking into the past, and everything, whatever you're focusing on, you will get, and the universe will show you and teach you. Good morning. I am Rosalia. Um, Actually, I'm laying on the grass and making this connection. It is a beautiful place, so close to Mother Earth's heart, and I can feel her beat. I pass it on to you. Catch it. You will feel the love and warmth emanating from both our hearts now. You are doubly electrified, and your cells are churning faster, and a lot of you can feel this energy coming in, doing all kinds of stuff. So now we begin. If you could hear the melodies, I would sing to you, for love sings. Our heart twines in the melody and soul merges with the rhythm. Everything is in the song here. There are choirs everywhere, bees, trees, particles of air, all created there with aries of healing, soothing melodies and rejuvenating our souls. As for Lemuria in the long time past, we once flourished there in great abundance, great joy. Those times taught us great lessons that we've carried through into our lives that we live today. The excruciating experience taking us from the heights of joy to the depths of suffering. Knowledge and experience transformed into great wisdom and resides within us now. It is the wisdom that we have gleaned from all our experiences of the catapulted us into the higher states of evolution that we now experience here in Telos. And so it is with you on the surface. You too have experienced the joys and suffering, the myriads of war, and the family arguments that have torn your families and society and nation apart. You too can reclaim your lives, reclaim your birthright of living in abundance and peace by using your own experience to lead you into the light, to break through your limitations and break through your belief systems, take your experience and find the kernels of truth and wisdom that flow from it. Then you use this wisdom as a guidance pointer to the point you in the direction of your soul's purpose in this lifetime. Guidance is necessary. It takes a byproduct of wisdom. Use all your life experience to open the way to higher levels of awareness of all that exists around you. For around you is all that you see and all that you don't see. So make your way carefully, move into the light until the unseen becomes seen. That's why I say you have to want to see everything. I say it so many times. There are so many unseen guides, angels guiding you now that your living space is crowded and not enough chairs for all to sit. So they stand and hover above you as you make your way through your day. Your yards and parks are filled with to overflowing with nature spirits, divas, and mere people, MER people, that have returned to join you again. Love and abundance abounds everywhere. Feel it, sense it, smell it, taste it, love it back. Find yourself again as you once were before alighting on the path, before alighting on the planet, before volunteering for your service, and see yourself as whole and complete. However you see yourself, whatever you outpicture returns to you. Outpicturing perfection will only bring you the reflection back to you. Whatever you perceive, you receive. Your perceptions of yourself will reprogram your cells into your true divine blueprint of physical perfection, the perfection that we in Telos live daily. I am Rosalia. The next one is align with your will, with the will of the Creator. This is Valentine's Day. I'll just jump all of that. Let us say that in the beginning was the thought, as it always must be, and this thought took shape and congealed and went out to the ethers and was reflected back by the Creator to the creation back again, as our thoughts do. Our thoughts play this game of going out and returning back. Each time they return, they come in with more information, more refinement, more attunement to the will of the Creator. For after all, aren't we all here to bring forth into our lives the will of the Creator? For this is who we are a part of. So it is only natural to do the Father's will while on earth. This way we align with the soul's purpose, which is always carrying out the will of the Creator, the divine, and all that is of which we are. Once knowing the mutable law, we cannot stray on the path, but are glued to it, undeviating in the mishaps or wrong turns. So once you're connected with these universal laws and truths, you'll just go right through everything where you need to come to this higher vibration. Oh, this feels so good, doesn't it? Yes, of course. And like a breather, just this energy just coming in really big. Yes, of course, we answer, because when there is no worries, no doubts, our minds are free to move in any direction, and our dreams and goals, knowing that we are being led perfectly along the path. That's why I say stop fearing, stop focusing on the negative. That's all people want to waste their time doing. It's really irritating. You can literally feel it off people really easy. This is how it is in Telos. We follow the soul path, knowing that we are being guided, directed divinely from within our very souls, and that ultimately we reach our goal. It is called a divine connection, and we invite you in. It is a wondrous place to reside, and living in a state of euphoria is sought after by all the gurus and adepts. We all can be here by just making this divine connection, sitting back, then watching it all unfold in divine order. And that's where God doesn't deceive and lie. Never does. It's all bullshit. They try to make you believe that. Unfold in divine order just as it's supposed to. It is really effortless, the process itself, for it takes place within us rather than by us. Quite a distinction, isn't it? My, you are quick learners, as I see you can understand this concept quite easily and effortlessly. So as you go out into your daily day, remember to check in with the divine creator to reveal all you need to know, and achieve in each given moment. That's where I say ask to see and know everything. And the given moments are many. They pile up into infinity and countless. The ways to keep up with the tide is to stay in the moment. And that's where you got to learn how to be here now, not in the future, not in the past, not somewhere else in the world or in the universe. You need to be here. You need to be with the Creator. You will always be where you are supposed to be, doing what you are supposed to be doing. Spiritual laws are wonderful, aren't they? They are made for you. So please do use them. As on the surface, use these laws as in Telos we use them. Together we will find ourselves more and more connected in consciousness and closer together than ever. Rosalia. And then connecting the weather spirits. And this is where I try to do that in the prayers, connecting with all the elements and that have to do with the weather. Our weather is always fine, delightful, so cozy and warm, and just curl up under a tree and take a siesta for eternity. It's not like the blustery weather you are now experiencing on the surface, where there are huge amounts of snow and ferocious winds pounding on your body and buildings. The weather on the surface is creating quite a roaring literally, as the earth is in the process of balancing and ridding herself of toxins and negative thought forms accumulated over centuries. Our weather here is based on our thoughts and love of purity of heart, and reflects in the softness of the breeze and warmth of the air and gentleness of the climate. For all we think and feel, our weather reflects back to us. And so it is the same on the surface. All humanity thinks and feels. Your weather is reflecting directly back to you. If only people would understand the principle of universal law, you could be creating a utopia of weather conditions. Our technologies are so advanced, but you know that your government has all these advanced technologies to create a utopia climate with free energy for everything on the surface, and that they yet use this technology for only themselves, for their devious plans to control the planet. This technology is now in operation and is being used by one in control of the masses, so that they can control the masses. It is used for their own personal selves in their own underground cities that the surface population does not know exists. Yes, there are hundreds of government-controlled underground cities existing beneath the surface, with most marvelous technology devices that make life so easy to live and remove the drudgery involved in the long hours of working that you currently experience on the surface. You can help balance the weather by balancing your emotions and feelings. Only the love of the Creator in every thought you send out. When you go outside and experience the cold, snow, and wind, send it love. Connect with the spirits and caress its violence and its softness, its harshness with love. It will respond to you in subtle ways, but it will respond to you and it will be thankful for the recognition. It too is alive and conscious, a very speck of snow, and every raindrop has consciousness as it forms. How else could it exist? Remember, we are all part of the Creator. Your Creator creates only from consciousness. It is the only building block in existence. Everything else is directly a byproduct of consciousness, materialized in form and physical form of density in your eyes can perceive. Soon we'll be preparing you at the doorsteps, bringing you technology you so desperately crave to return to the surface to utopian conditions again. And that's where I talk about Atlantis, Lemuria, all these things bringing back all this stuff that we're going to be using.